Well, hello everyone. Um, so after my last video for the Flutterflow video compression and Bunny CDN upload, I've had a bunch of people ask me about how they can do it using Firebase, right? So instead of uploading to Bunny, they would like to upload to Firebase. So I decided to make this quick video just on how to get that done. Uh, so essentially, what we're going to be building out is this. So let me just open that real quick. uh, I'm here on my actual phone. This is one thing for the compression, for you to actually see that the compression is working and the video is uploading. Make sure that you test on an actual physical device. If you test on an emulator, it's not going to work due to how emulators run, and there's not an actual local storage for it to just shove that compressed video in prior to uploading it. So it is best to test it on an actual physical device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit there on my plus icon. You can see it brings up, and we're going to click here on a video. As you can see, it tracks the compression state there at the top um, to tell me how quickly and how fast it's compressing the video. Um, Once that is done, it will start uploading. I'm just going to pause quick until the compression is at 100%. Right, there we are, compressing done, and as you can see, we are now starting the uploading process. And it will do the same. It tracks the uploading progress, so at least your user can see how quickly you're uploading. Note that my upload is probably running pretty slow currently. I do have a VPN set up, so my uploads can take a while, but as you can see, it's not too bad. And we will most definitely, there you can see upload has been completed, so I can now click on continue, and once that is done, I can now see the video in my feed. Right, so I'm going to help you, show you how to set this up, but there we go, it's all good and done. If I click on it, I can view it in a larger view. There we go. All right, and that is it. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. I am gonna do this. Right, I have made all the code available. Right, there's just two actions. The first is an action to select the actual video, right? And the second action is to compress the video and then also upload it to Firebase. Now there are a few things in order for us to track the compression state, and also just say, you know, what is the status text if we really wanted to. You can display this somewhere else if you want to. Otherwise, you can just remove the app state here, the status text. I will, however, recommend that you still have a status error. So if whatever happens, you can actually display to the user why their upload failed or while their compression failed. Right. So before we jump into that, let's just make sure, don't do the same thing as I did. I was driving myself insane when I set up this project because I forgot something key, and that is permissions. Make sure that you have photo library turned on, and then for platforms, let me go there. For Android, make sure that you've selected request broad access to media. Then just make sure somewhere in your app you handle actually requesting the permission. I did mine on my home page, this feed page, where I am then requesting that permission. So let's just go through the database structure. For me, seeing as it's not an actual app, this is just me compressing the video. I have a video data set set up, which takes in a video URL of type string and then created by, which is doc reference. Now, feel free, you can make this a video path if you're going to be using the Flutterflow video player. For me, in my case, I did not use the Flutterflow video player. I have my own custom video player that also allows me to play from local paths, right? So when I select the video from my device, I can play that directly from the path. All right. So that is all set up there. Then next up is app states, right? The most important one is we don't really need this upload URL. I'm not using that. But what you do need is upload progress, which is going to be of type Boolean. Sorry, type double. Then the next one is status text, which is of data type string. And then upload status error, which is also of type string. Right. Now, if we head into our application, there's the video upload button. Well, let's first go straight from scratch. On my feed page, I have a button, and from here I'm going to select my video, after which I'm then going to navigate to let me just see. Okay, I can just remove that, that's fine. All right. So after selecting the video, I'm going to navigate to my video upload screen. Now my video upload screen, I have action flow that will then compress and upload the video, after which it will update a page state, upload completed, and set this to true in order for this button continue to show. And from there I can then create my document and pass in my video URL. Right. So for my progress bar, this is important. I've set it up so that I can grab that app state upload progress, right, which we've created here. So upload progress, it's of type double. So I'm grabbing that and I'm passing it in here as upload progress. Now for status, I'm passing in that app state status text so that I can see exactly how far the upload has, or the compression and then the upload has taken place. Right. So off to actually implementing this logic. Now there's two things that we need. We need to have a select video action, and then we also need a compress and upload action. Now I have gone ahead and I've prepared these actions for you. So if you go to Discord, with the link is in the description below, you can see that there's a channel under Marketplace, which is free code. In there, I've created a post, which is video compression and Firebase upload. And here you can get everything from the image picker package version that we're making use of, as well as the video compress package we're making use of. Please make sure that when you do copy this, to add it to your dependencies here on the right of the screen, that there's no spaces after it and there's also no spaces in front of it. Otherwise you will get errors. So it is better to just do this, copy it out, and then you paste it inside of your Google browser. Go to pub.dev and copy it out. Right. Now, another thing is when you expand this to actually see the code, right? Let me do this. Make sure that you don't copy this part out and paste it. Only copy from this, the import, down to the actual package information, right? It's very important. So once you've also then pasted that in, make sure that you name here, copy that out just like that, and then paste it here so that the action name is the same, right? So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete this so that we can do the action flow from scratch, right? So I'm going to come in here, going to grab my actions. So let's do this from scratch, delete action chain. And then we'll go to our home page. And I'm going to delete action chain. This way we can go through it from scratch. Right. So I'm going to delete the select video. And I'm going to delete the compress and upload. So if we come to our Discord, or my Discord, I can now come in, grab the import package, image picker. So there we go. I'm going to select new action. Yes. I'm going to paste this in here, grab and copy that out and paste it here. Right. Now, if you were wondering why I said do not copy this part out and paste it, the reason is that Flutterflow's logic is somewhat, there's a bug, right? So if you end up copying this part and pasting and overriding what they've generated here, it will tell you that there's an error in the code, even though there is no error, right? Okay, so now that we have placed this in here, let's go ahead and save the action. It's going to tell you, listen, the parameters do not match. Just click on yes, and it will automatically generate this return value for you. Now make sure that you have imported this image picker as well as the video compress. Now, let's go ahead and let's also add our compression logic, right? So we're going to grab it all, copy it, come in here, action, paste, and there we go. Now make sure that you grab this compress and upload and just paste that in there. Perfect. And click on save actions and you can say yes. Now there's a few things I do know that I just removed. I think I removed one of the values just now. Upload status area. Okay, now that's fine. Upload progress. That's good. Let's just make sure that I don't have it in here somewhere. Status text, download URL. Yeah, okay. Everything is fine. Everything is good. Okay. So, how's this action flow going to work? It's first you're going to select the video, right? And we're going to return a local path value for it. We're going to come to when our compression starts, we're going to pass the selected video string value in as video path. Now, next up, make sure that if you've in this action, compress and upload, that under your argument to user reference, that you select your user's document type, right? And go ahead and save. Now, how this action works is before we start, we want to make sure that our app state for tracking our compression and our uploading is actually set correctly. So we're going to pass in app state, status text is compressing video, and we're going to put the upload progress to be 0.0. So the reason why 0.0 is that the actual Flutter Flow progress bar, right? It works with 0 being 0% and 1.0 being 100%. Therefore, if it's 50%, it's 0.5. So we need to handle that value, okay? So inside of our app, then we also just specify an empty string for upload status error. Now you will see why I did this and why I added this as an app state. This is just good for error logging and error tracking to see why something is going wrong, where it's going wrong, that type of thing. And you can also then inform the user of why it is that it failed. So now from here, we're using our compression package, right? We are going to create a subscription, which is essentially a listener. So we want to listen to the progress of the compression. So with that, we are creating a listener. So we're subscribing to the compressed progress and creating a progress variable. And then we're passing that in. So we're saying if app state, upload progress, right? Which is our app state. And we're saying the progress needs to be divided by 100 because we need to get a value that is between 0 and 1 as the upload progress. So from there, we just update also our status text to be compressing and then the progress value to string as fixed percentage, right? Just that. So I will show you again. We will add another one so that you can see how this thing looks and why it is done in this space. Then finally, we need to check if the compressed video was successful. Well, sorry, we first need to generate the info for the video compression. So we need to specify what quality we want. So if we have a look at the actual video compression documentation, so let me copy that out. If we go to pub.dev, we can paste that in there. We go to video compress, API reference, click on video compress, and then we'll see this option for enums, video quality, right? If you open that video quality, you can see all the different video quality values that you can specify. So for example, I can change this to be medium quality, right? So if I go to my code now, yeah, I can specify under quality, video quality, to rather, instead of highest quality, I'm going to make it to be medium quality, right? And then this delete origin, I'm going to set this to false because I don't want to delete the original file. I only want to compress that original file, generate a temporary file of the compressed video that I'm then going to use to upload to Firebase, right? So here we will then do the actual compression. We're specifying how we want to compress it, and then we're just specifying that we want to unsubscribe from the subscription to track the video compression state. So now we can say the final compressed video path is equals to info.file.path, right? So we need to know that this info is that file and the path of our temporary compressed file. So if the compressed video path is equals to null, so if the compression for whatever reason failed, then we want to update our app state with status text compression failed. We can do an app state upload progress, put it to 0.0, and then finally say that the FF app state upload status error is compression returned no file. That's good, because now if we want to show an informational dialog, we can just put that informational dialog's message text to be this upload status error. Now we are going to do that. We're going to go through that, right? Finally, we can put the compression state to complete, although this is not really needed since our compression logic here will automatically have that done. But to make sure that it is all done, let's just add this in. From here, we will then start with our actual upload. So here we will say compression completed, preparing upload, right? Just like that. So we're going to prepare our upload now. So the first thing that we need is we need our users document user ID. The reason why we need this, let me just save here, is the way that Flutterflow set up their Firebase, right? Or Firebase storage in this case, is that they generate a users folder, and inside that users folder, they're generating a user ID. So each folder, so there's a new folder associated with the user's ID of the user that is actually uploading a file, and then they're reading all the paths, right? So if we go to our Firebase, I'm going to go to storage. So here you can see inside of Firebase storage, each user will have their own folder, right? And the folder's name is the user's UID. So this is as per the Firebase rules. Now note, you can come and change this. You can create your own folders. Just make sure that you update the rules so that it also knows that you need to match it. For example, what you can do is just say match. So I'm going to copy that, paste it, right? And in this case, you can perhaps make it as videos. And instead of, well, I mean, you can have a user ID. So each user will have their own folder inside the videos directory, and then just put it as all paths, whatever the case might be. Or you can perhaps associate this with a video ID, whatever the case might be, or collection ID, depending on what you are doing. Now, that's how you will update your rules. Then you just specify allow read if true, otherwise allow write only if the user ID or the video ID or collection ID is true, right? So that is all. In this case, the way that I wrote the action is just to use exactly the way that Firebase generate things. I just went ahead and actually created an uploads directory for it. Now you can name this whatever you want. You can turn it to videos if you want, anything else really. So if we go back to our actual Firebase, our Flutterflow project, come to our compressed video, we can now see that we are generating, we're first checking the user ID. And if the UID is empty, then we want to make sure that we pass in an error state so that we can tell the user like, listen, you're not signed in, or there's no UID, whatever the case might be, right? After that, we need to check if the compressed file path is set, right? So we're going to say the file is equals to the file compressed video path. So it is this compressed video path we've generated here, the variable. And then if it doesn't exist, then we're just going to say file not found, and we can pass in file not found as a path and pass in this actual compressed video path, right? Then after that, we're going to create the file name, because we need to know what we need to pass in. We need a file name that we can set in. So this is now where that uploads come in. You can change this to videos, change it to images, whatever it is that you want. So in this case, let's change it to videos. It will make more sense. So just save that. And from here, we can say the Firebase storage instance is child users, the UID of the user, which we specified here. Going to send it in a folder videos, and then add the file name. Now, if you don't want a folder, all you have to do is just remove that, right? I do like to keep things a little bit more ordered, so I'm going to have it in a folder of its own set as videos. Then after this, we need to start the upload task, right? So we're going to put the file, there's a file value here inside of storage. And then next, we need to create a listener, right? So because we want to track the progress of our upload. And to do that, we need to essentially track the bytes that we are sending, right? So we're going to do a final, create a variable, which is final bytes transferred. It's equals to that snap.bytes transferred to double. So as we are sending the bytes, the video bytes to Firebase storage, we are grabbing it and getting bytes transferred. Now we're also doing a total bytes, so we're getting the total bytes from the actual video file, you know, the ones and zeros, and we're creating a double value from that, so that we have both the total bytes and then also track the bytes transferred, so that we can get a ratio, which is going to be a percentage value, which is the total bytes is equals to 0, right? And then we're going to divide this. So we need to just make sure that we are specifying that it is 0.0, right? And then we're going to do bytes transferred. If that total bytes is 0, then we're just going to put the double to 0.0. Else, right? So else statement, we're going to do bytes transferred divided by the total bytes. That way we also get a double value, right? Now, we can do we're then updating our app state with the upload progress, which is equals to this ratio variable we've created. Now, the final percent value is equals to ratio divided by 100. Why? Because we need this total bytes transferred, total bytes will return a value out of 100, right? So it's 70%, for example. Now, we don't want that. We wanted to have it as a value as 0.7 or 0.4 or whatever the case might be, where 0.4 will be 40%. Now, to do that, we're going to divide this ratio by 100, and we're going to put it as a string value. Okay. After that, we are creating status text or updating the status text, where we are specifying uploading, and then adding, what we can do is uploading like that, and then we add the percent value that we've created here with a percentage value, right? So now we can track exactly what percentage our upload is going to Firebase. After that, if there is an error, then we just need to update and say upload snapshot error, put the upload progress back to 0.0, and pass in that snapshot stream error. And that is all. After this, we need to make sure that the upload progress has completed. So for that, we're going to do a try and catch block. So we're going to try final snapshot is await this upload task, which we've created. And then when it's complete, we want to get a download URL, right? And we're going to update our app state to say upload completed, put it at 1, and then return this download URL. So we have a string value. We need that download URL. Otherwise, if there's an error while uploading, we're going to catch that error and we're just going to update our app state correctly. And that is it. We can go ahead and save our actual file, and we can implement this logic. Now, to do that, I'm going to go to my home page, and then I'm going to go to my floating action button. Now, I'm going to do an on tap, going to add an action. It's going to be the custom actions, select video. And I'm just going to say selected video as that. And now we need to do some conditional logic. So what happens if the user cancels the upload? Then that means that we need to end this action, right? So we're going to do a single condition, action output, selected video, and we're going to put this to be set and not empty, just like that. So the selected video, if we've selected a video, then this will return as true because there's a string value. Also, it's going to be false. So just do an informational dialog. And we're going to say, let's say file empty, and perhaps do no file selected. Otherwise, if it exists, we want to navigate to our video upload page, and we want to pass this selected value, so action output, the selected video, we want to pass that as a string, right, as a parameter. So in our video upload page, right, I've got a parameter, page parameter set up, which is selected video path. It's a string and it is required. Now, with that said, I also have the page state here, which is then upload completed, right? Now, what happens on page load? On page load, we need to get or start our upload progress. So I'm going to do an add action. I'm going to come to my custom actions. Well, we can first do an update app state, right? And we're going to do upload progress, set value to 0.0, do a status text, set value, and maybe just do preparing video perhaps, and then the status text, we can just do a clear value. Just make sure that everything is cleared. After that, we're going to come into our custom actions and we're going to grab this compress and upload. Gonna go ahead, page parameters, and select that selected video path. Go ahead, authenticated user, user record reference, like that. And then we're going to say uploaded video, just like that. Now, we also then need to add some conditional logic here. And what we essentially need to do here is a single condition. And we're going to grab our action outputs. This uploaded video is set and not empty. Now, if it is set and not empty, then we're all good. And we can update our page state. So update page state, upload completed, and set that value to be true, right? Because our upload was successful. Now, if it was not successful, then we need to show the user what's happening. So I'm just going to say error, like that. And then the message text will be our app state. And it can be this upload status error value, right? That's it. That's all we need to do for there. All right. So now on our button itself. Now this button will only appear if this page state that we set upload completed is true. Now if it is true, we need to then also upload create a document. So we're going to create the document video collection, and then we're going to specify that video URL to be our action output uploaded video. That's it. Created by, and we're going to navigate to our home page. Now that is all. That's all that we have to do in order for us to compress our video and upload it. And that is it, essentially. That is how you can compress your video and upload it to Firebase. Now, all these actions are available to you inside of Discord, right? So just make sure to head down to Discord. The link is in the description below for you to find it. And yeah, let me know what you think about the video down in the comments below. And if there's anything else you would like to see, you can also drop it there. I'll probably try and also do a video on Supabase in the future. But for those of you, if you're looking for an action to do this type of thing with Supabase, just hit down in Discord and let me know. I do have an action separately that allows you to upload from a local path. However, it does not include the compression. If you are looking for it to include the compression, I will see if I can do something like that for in the future. Other than that, we can still just double check. Our app uploads everything nicely. So let's select this video, right? So this is now where that compression comes in, right? Ooh. So like that. If we come to our compress and upload, this compressing 39% and our upload progress bar. So our upload progress bar tracks the progress through this app state here, and then the compressing text that you're seeing here, the status text compressing 62%, 63%, and so on. That is by handling this value, right? Once this is done, we're doing something similar with our upload. So right here, by tracking our bytes. There we go. And the uploading will start. Right, there we go. And as you can see, it updated the status text to be upload completed as per here. So if upload is completed, put it to 1.0 and put the status text to upload completed. Once that is done, our Boolean value updated, our page state, upload completed to true, and we therefore have access to our button. So now if we click on continue, oh, let me do that. We can now see that there's two videos there. One will be the first one we upload and the second one will be this one, right? And that is it. Now I do need to go and work. I never worked too hard on this homepage, but that is essentially it all, right?